Okay, you saw the Smooth interview, right? Where he spoke about being in the
Salute to
studio.
Smooth, yes, sir. Smooth always been a real one, a good one. He's been taken out of conversations since he wasn't been brought out like that. And the reason why I told you, interview that brother, is not because, he takes my side. He just knows the truth, and he's a humble dude that's gonna speak it the way he saw it, the way he processed it, and the way it was. And
Yeah.
that's the reason I told you, yo, my nigga, Smooth, when you asked me who's Smooth, and he didn't go through me, he told you.
Yeah, he reached out to
So,
me directly.
and then when you reached out and said, yo, who is this guy? I told you who he was. But I haven't talked to Smooth in 16, 17 years. You understand? So he got his own recollection of what the truth was. But I give anybody the welcome. Yeah, he was there. Just as the fact he was there, and I'm wondering in my mind what you're gonna say. And I don't preparate those people. I don't do that.
Right.
I don't go tell them, yo, don't speak bad about. Speak your truth, brother. Just like I said, I told you if you ever get to interview Joe, speak your truth. Let me see if I watch it in a way of let me see if I could even see how he might have came up with that. But when I see flaws and rise and you're trying to change history of because you have a motive, then I can see that. And I just want to recognize the snakes, and I want to recognize the real, who because in this society, this is that we're living on. Oh my God, we can see it to the highest level of transgender dude trying to act like they're a real woman. So the lying part of life right now is it stretches from every subject of the world, every topic. So it's crazy that we living in this thing, and they call it woke culture, but it's like they're woke, but they're trying to put you to sleep. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I relate all of that, all them facts, how the status of the world is right now, to all these lies being told by these people that are in power, and especially in the music industry, that they're trying to change the history, so they could suit them, and they're looking past the damage they're doing with their lies and the credit they're taking from other people, and really the damage they're doing, man, to the game. And it's been a way of life for them. So right now we can really see them in action coming out and showing us this, like, how retarded do you sound, or how crazy are you are. Like me, I sit back and say this, but it's like, it's not far-fetched. It's not far-fetched. I see the temperature of the world. That's why I told you before, gangsters are the biggest snitches. Liars are the biggest truth tellers. Like, it's upside down. And it's not just in this music game. It's everywhere.
Right.
It's everywhere. So, Joe is definitely a part of that.
It's crazy because before I started watching some of the old interviews, and you've brought up Smooth plenty of times. I just forgot his name of who you were talking about, but you have brought him up before, Now,
Smooth.
The clip in our interview, he said that there was a time where you guys were all in the studio and Joe started to make certain comments about, the Morenos have had their time. Now it's our time. And he felt like it was like an underlining racist tone to it, even though I asked him, I was like, could it have just been pro-Spanish? Like, isn't this, like that's possible without you being racist? Yeah. But man, roll a clip.
Like you said at the start of this, like a lot of people thought that I was Spanish. So, he would be on the movement of, us Latinos got to make it. We got to do this. We got to do that. And I'm listening like, wow. Because at the time, it was a lot of brothers doing the music, and he was coming in throughout, digging in the crates and all these other brothers that was putting him on. So I guess he felt like, damn, it's time for us to like take over. So I would listen to that and I would take heed to like, okay, it's kind of like a little racist, but it is what it is. It ain't nothing bad, but it's just like, I guess he was so pro Latino that he was really pumping that rhetoric at that time. He was trying to take it to another level.
Well, okay.
Pun was the first one.
Let me play devil's advocate. Okay, so was it racist, or was it just that like he was really proud and trying to put on the other side of it? Because there wasn't really any prominent, you know what I mean, that within the
So
culture.
I ain't going to downplay. I'm going to tell you straight up. He was on some like the Moyo's been doing this for years. It's time for us to come in. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically how it was stated. And that's how I heard it. And I was just like, oh, okay. Yeah, I get it. It's pro.
But
It's pro. It's pro. But at the same time, it was a little bit of shade there. You know, a little bit.
he got put on by black artists, though.
It's what I was thinking the whole time I'm hearing that. But I'm saying to myself, who am I? I'm just here just listening. I'm just taking in what he's saying. I'm taking in because I'm in a room full of black Latin brothers that are all in the music industry. You got to understand that too. I'm the only person there personally at the time that looked like I was. So I got in where I fit in, but here we go. That's the rhetoric that was pumped because he felt comfortable. He was in his own world at the time too. Like, you know, you're in a closed environment. You got your people that look up to you, and you got
So
some
you
people.
can say what you really feel.
Exactly.
Well, it's possible. It's possible. I think that's wrong to say. Now, if you say it where you demean them. Now, if he took it like he said, the ER, the hard ER, when he said Morenos, but when he said, damn Morenos, like, you know, I'm sick of them, some jealousy part to it, then I understand. Me knowing if you're around me saying those things, I mean, I've been around there where Joe definitely told stories of that showed his racist side to it because he went through things in the past where he was being bullied by black people. So I understand it. I'm more understandable to that thing. But I don't think at the end of the day he shows racism. When it comes to one-on-one, I think he feels better than the black person. But I think as a whole culture, I think he knows how to embrace black and brown together. That's what I mean.
So, but the conversation that Smooth was talking about, do you felt like that came across as like racist in any way?
I didn't take it as racist.
Okay.
Because maybe I'm desensitized from that. I'm desensitized because I'm inside the crew.
Right.
So I know the Spanish language well. I know our position well within the business stratosphere of the game. We all the only Spanish dudes that are making noise, and black people are embracing us. And it's really, you know, he was taking it in the business, maybe tone of voice where it's like us against them, but yet we got to be that crew that stands out. But at the end of the day, the moral foundation is that we all in this together. And just because we're Spanish, we don't want to separate ourselves. I'm talking me, Punt. We don't want to separate ourselves that we black, we Spanish. We together in this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But as far as being a leader, he given that pro-Spanish speech where it's like, we have to stand out and even be better. I don't think it's a bad thing.
Okay.
I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's just, you know, to put fire to us in that way. So I didn't think that. But if you're black and you're in that conversation, I can see where you might think that.
Right. Because then, like, we got to remember that Smooth has said that, like, he has passed for Spanish before. Like, people thought that he was Spanish, but he's just because of he's like a lighter tone, you know, in his skin.
Like a little Dominican dude.
Right.
Puerto Rican. But we all are the same. There's black people that are charcoal in Puerto Rico and Cuba that you might think they're African or, you know, they're black. We all together, man. You know, that's the whole foundation of what our movement is. That's including my words when you know, my stand on that category, Pun's stand on that category, Stacey's stand on that category. So, you know, Joe had that, you know, I didn't have that upcoming where black people treated me a certain way because I was fluorescent white. It is hard being fluorescent white in the hood. It is. So I understand his thing, and I understand when he had to fight for it and you know what I'm saying, and become that accepted by the most majority of black and brown people inside the hood that he came from.
But black people put him on in the game, though, right? Because DITC put him on.
Yeah, but it's still in you. It's still in you if you went through that kind of oppression, if you really felt that. You know what I'm saying? Which you probably felt in the beginning when you're coming up young, but you have to fight, just like I did. I didn't know English, so I had to fight. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, to hold it to this day and age, like I said, man, I took that more of a little fire under our feet.
So he was the coach giving you guys the halftime speech, basically.
Yeah. I didn't take it. But like I said, I heard him and Macho say stories where now is demeaning and being real racist to black people. Him and
wait,
Macho.
wait. What you mean?
The two white guys at the crew is him and Macho.
Okay,
but
I know. But what is the story, though?
Macho was a fucking, you know, he hung out with the Jewish guys. So he was really demeaning when it came to black people. And Joe would join that conversation, you know.
Well, what is the story though? Can you share the
I'm
story?
not telling you the story. I let them tell the story. I mean,
All right, all right.
they're never going to say it. But it was real demeaning, racial shit. But
Got you.
that's within, you know what I'm saying, the camp of the Spanish guys.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I think everybody does it. Black people do it. White people do it when they're amongst their own. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I don't, you know, I don't want to even say they are, they aren't. But most, I know my beliefs. I know Punch believe. I know like Sace's belief. When we came in, it's full of clips. I know the sick ones believe. We came in as we all is together. Now, if it was a minority of them niggas being racist in the back of their mind and saying racist shit, yes, Joe and Macho of the terror squad used to say a lot of shit that was racist, you know?